I think I can get the car out later, but the walkways are a mess. So we are streaming. I hate the winter so much. That's when you know you're old. When you hate everything. I hate everything. I hate everything. Okay, we're watching the YM 0326. Normally in the morning, this time of day, we do YM reverse continues and magnets for the open. We have a double magnet, high of day. So put on a quick YM magnet. High of day, low of day. Leave the proximity right now at 3. Right now this morning, we're gonna do just trading very conservatively this morning. Just one position, default target, -3. So if it hits the magnet, and my stop is 50. In the morning on the open, I use a 50 stop. And we'll trade it in that
Requesting
same
national flag carrier
34,
Aeroflot warns
and
of
we'll
some
label it
possible flight
YM magnet.
cancellations after nationwide booking system outage.
Apply that, okay it. When you turn on the magnet, it'll place our orders. I'm going to move them up a bit. Oops, move them up a bit. Right now we're very close to being filled, which we don't want. All right, we'd rather be a little bit further away because it wants to fill before the news comes out, before the open. If we hover over the entry, 293 is our buy, and it's only about 10 ticks of profit. I think it's a very high probability, even though it already did it. It's going to do it right now. So it's too soon. I'm not really ready to trade. It's doing it now. So we'll just watch it. I didn't put it on live. And we'll see if it pulls back for the open. We still, we're trading the open, not necessarily 10 minutes before the open. Let's go over to oil because oil is more important. We did have an MNQ reverse continue, so we want to redo that for the YM. And just one position this morning, a 30 tick target, 35 target, 35 stop. That's usually what we do in the morning. And that's a YM reverse continue. Same account. So we've updated that. All right, now go oil. So, all right. Gonna do a reverse continue on oil like we always do. Breakout becomes reverse continue. One contract, 20 tick target, 20 tick stop. That's our oil reverse continue. And we'll do that in our oil funded account. And we'll call it CL reverse continue. So that's one setup. That's ready. And then we have our main trade, watching the YM. See, it's kind of quiet. Our main oil trade. And the YM just worked. Okay, it would have hit our target right there. So now I'm just going to put it on off just to watch for signals. And then on oil, our main trade is a range trade, but we have not been overjoyed with the way the oil trade's been working for quite a few weeks now. So that's why I'm trading only one contract. All right, so putting on our oil range trade. So I'm going to load the template, and it's labeled oil new range. Oil new range open. I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to date it, today's date, and load it. So our range ends at 90040. That's when the range ends, 90040. I'm just trading one position, because trade hasn't been working that great. The trade hasn't been working that great. And I'm going to target 20 ticks, one position. 20 tick stop at the most. If the market moves 10 ticks in my favor, I'm going to move the stop to break even plus 4. It's going to be a 4. Market moves 10 ticks, going to move the stop to plus 4. The range start time is 8:59. One tick above, one tick below. Show the range graphics on chart. That's our setup. Let me go over the whole setup once more. So really, start down by the range. Start by the range trade. Range start time, 8:59. One tick above the range, one tick below the range. Check show range graphics on chart. If the market moves 10 ticks, move the stop BEX ticks. We're going to make that a 4. Our stop is 20. Target 1 is 20. Position 1 is 1. And the range ends at 90040. If you want to trade it normally, not normally, trade it the way it was working before Christmas and the New Year, it was 2 positions. Position 1 was a 1, position 2 is a 1, and we had targets of 8 and 20. So I'm just going for one target of 20, but if the market moves 10 ticks in my favor, the stop will move to plus 4. And I'm going to apply that. In fact, I'm going to save that. So I'm going to go to template, save. Going to call it oil new one contract. and data today. Open, data today. So we have a template. So now turn it on, put it on the account that you want to trade it on. I'm trading it in my funded market oil open account. Apply it, okay it, and make sure the account is on that account. And we're ready to go. The YM setup was default. RD, the YM setup was a default magnet. I chose high of day, low of day. Position 1 was a 1, and the default target 1 offset is -3. I used a 50 stop. All right. I used a 50 stop. My entry was about 12 ticks away from the high. Now, it was a high probability trade because you had a double magnet. You had the PP and the high of day. And it went right through it. And if you had a second target, how much further did it go? It went 10 ticks through the magnet. Not all that much through it. Not all that much through it. There is a short setup right now. If you would take it, you'd go short here with a stop about 8 ticks above the high. It's a little quiet to trade still. $8.45 big bounce. I didn't see or hear anything after durable goods. I didn't see anything. See, you don't always just jump into a signal. Look how bullish the YM's looking. It was a good signal, but it was a good signal, but the YM just broke out, you know? So, and nothing keeps these markets down. We do have a new filter in the software. I've got to figure out how to use it.
Changed at 3.64%, 23rd of Jan.
I don't see any headline. Nothing unusual, Arthur. Nothing unusual. So our range trade is drawing on oil. All right, so
NVIDIA
oil just
unveiled
opened.
AI Earth 2 system to sharpen weather forecasts.
So now our orders will show up at 90040. I think I'd
Quarterly
rather be
Wall Street
short
Journal
this
event this
morning,
video expands is open source AI weather and climate tracking models.
but I'm
AI
not
is making
really
huge
trying
strides
to
in
Order
outthink it this
submitted.
the
morning.
pursuit of open source AI models called Earth 2. The Earth 2 models will help users gather hyper-specific data about the climate and weather, including through global forecasts and local storm forecasts.
I'm thinking a lot of people are probably stuck at home today, not going to work.
Order submitted.
So filled to the short side. You can, if you want, you can reduce your risk and put your stop above the range. There's no law that says you can't do that. Or you could just sit tight for a few minutes, see what happens. If the market goes at 10 ticks in our favor after entry, our stop will move to +4. What do you mean, Arthur?
Apple introduces new AirTag. So this is not new news, but it's something that we heard last week. But it's just been confirmed that Apple introduces new AirTag. According to the information, OpenAI seeks premium prices in early ads push.
No, it hasn't been. It broke out. Oil broke out.
According to UAE Foreign Ministry, they will not
Now,
allow its
my
airspace
gut
to
feeling
open or
is
water
I don't want a
to
full
US
stop out.
aviation
If it
workers.
goes above the range today, I'm happy to get out without a huge loss. I don't know how everybody else feels this morning. And it's just honestly because the trade, it has not been working. Has not been working. It may be, I may not want to be trading this trade much longer, honestly. Now, in a few minutes, we'll get ready for the MNQ, the market open.
Apple says the new AirTag is available today for $29 for a single AirTag and $99 for a 4-pack. That's according to their website.
Apple has some sort of a new AirTag or something they're announcing. Those AirTags are popular. The trade hasn't been working for weeks, Arthur, for weeks. It was at one time extremely reliable, and now it's just not working. It fills us and then goes the other way.
we have posted out the article for OpenAI seeks premium prices in early ads push, content information, and the article from Wall Street Journal about NVIDIA expanding its open source AI weather and climate tracking models on the feed for each read through.
So if it goes 10 ticks, our stop will move to +4. Now, the target should not be below the low, in my opinion. All right, TJ, you can choose to get out early. Nothing wrong with that on a report that on a trade that you're worried about, you know? The trend this morning was down, so I did prefer the short side. Now, what I'm going to do is shrink the chart like we always do. And get our MNQ chart going for the market open. The YM hasn't really pulled back very much off the
So CoreWeave
high.
completes sale of 22.9 million shares of
Not yet,
NVIDIA.
anyway. Looking for an extra chart. I have too many charts probably. I'm going to borrow this oil chart and turn it into an MNQ chart for the market open. So those were just some extra charts that I had open in the app. So our MNQ, right now I'm going to put it on sim for a moment. And I'm going to put a reverse continue on it, like we always do. Right-click the chart, click on Strategy, click News Trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue, a couple of contracts. We'll do a target of 40. We always use a stop of 75 on this. And it's, like I said, this is our discretionary, possibly after the open. Label it MNQ, reverse continue. So it's just one position, a couple of contracts, target 40, stop 75. And we trade that in our funded MNQ account, labeled MNQ reverse continue, apply it, okay it, turn it on. And then we have our breakout trade. Going to load the template. MNQ new open is what it's called, I believe. MNQ new open, gonna right click it, rename it today's date, 26th. It's a breakout 929.59, 929.59. Bracket is 40. Target of 30 and 100. If it hits the first target, I'll go to break even. And we've got 125 on the stop. Oil looks like it's going to get stopped out now. Now, it only went a few ticks positive. Didn't want to get out that soon. Maybe TJ did the right thing, you know. We're going to trade this, leave it in sim for a minute to test our bracket. Going to test the bracket by putting the time on 0. Turn on a 0
Order
time
submitted.
trade.
Order canceled.
Yeah, it's going to stop us out now.
Order filled.
So another oil trade that doesn't work. Honestly, folks, we have to do some retesting, and I'm probably not going to do any more oil rooms. The trade's not working. It's just not working. So we have to look for something else. So the oil range, I want to turn that off. I don't need that setup. We still have the reverse continuation. And it was negative today. So, you know, it went against the trend. The trend was negative. Now, maybe, honestly, the stop probably should have been above the VWAP. To be honest, that was a better place for the stop. So let's watch and see. But that's quite a bit more risk. It would have been 18 to 20 more ticks. You don't want to stop right at the VWAP, right? I don't want to stop right at the VWAP. That's where everybody puts their stops. It's got to be 5, 6, 7 ticks above it. And that's quite a few more ticks from where we are now. It's a couple of $100. I'm not that willing to lose that much in the funded account when the trade is not behaving. NQ, we tested our brackets. I'd like to see the NQ pulled
Order
down
submitted.
so that our entry is further away from the high.
Order canceled. Order submitted.
It does almost seem like we could get away with a slightly smaller bracket this morning. The market's not crazy volatile yet.
Order canceled.
I'm definitely not going to do any more oil trading. So I don't need my reverse continue. And I don't need my oil chart. Let me get rid. I had too many charts in Ninja. Let me get rid of a couple of charts. Okay. So we've got our MNQ, let's get our accounts, get the software on the correct account. And I'm still not seeing much on the YM at the moment. Just not seeing much on the YM in terms of opportunity, other than maybe it's going to push up after the open. It's possible. NQ, MNQ, got to put the software back on the correct time, 9:29. I'm going to leave the bracket, everything where it is. Targets of 30 and 100. Choose the number of contracts you want to trade with your position sizes. The stop is 125 MNQs. Targets I'm using this morning, 30 and 100. And break even if it hits my first target. And don't forget, put the software on the correct account inside the program. So you got to choose the breakout trade account under setup, and I am trading it in my NQ MNQ market open account. That's a funded account still. The YM, it's hanging at the highs. It's not pulling back. Usually it pulls back better than what we're seeing right now. You could do a PP magnet this morning if you wanted to. That's a real possibility. 49,306 would be the custom level, right? Now it's starting to pull back off that high. I'd like to see it pull back 20 points or so off the high, and then we could put the high of day, low of day back on. YM magnet, turn it off for a second. On the YM magnet, right now, putting it on back on high of day, low of day. Position 1 gets out 3 ticks before the magnet, and then position 2, I want 15 ticks through the magnet. The stop is 50. It's in our prop account number 34, labeled YM magnet. Apply it and OK it. And we're getting that pullback. And now put the high of day, low of day back on. Move it out of the way. Now, I'm going to redo that. Let me check the proximity on that. We're now pretty nicely pulled off. Pretty nicely pulled off. It just testing the VWAP, right? Let's see if it goes through the VWAP. I mean the PP. That would have been a good little trade, testing the PP. That was an interesting magnet. Before the open, though, right? So the YM magnet, high of day, low of day, proximity is 3. I'm going to make it a 1 because it seems like it's getting too far away. It's a big range. Position 1, default target is -3. Position 2 is a 1. It just means one contract for each. And our target is 15 ticks through the magnet. That's what that means when it's 15. It's already labeled. It's in our prop account. Apply it and okay it when you turn on the magnet. Okay, it puts the order. This is not a big profit where it is right now. It's not. It's only 329 it's buying for a test of 337. Okay. Yes, Arthur, recording. So if you think the YM is bullish this morning, you can let the magnet fill before the open, right? If you want to, it probably will by turning on the auto mode. I'd rather it wait. I would rather it wait this morning. If you'd rather it wait, you turn off the button by clicking it. And if you miss the trade, you miss the trade. It's not the end of the world if you miss the trade, right? We go through this all the time. Missing a trade, there's a million trades. If you miss one because you don't like the timing, that's all right. Now I think it's getting further away. We have noticed, right, this 925 activity.
Order submitted.
So it filled and then immediately reversed, instantly reversed. Now, the question is, will it go test the high or is it going to stop us out? So it filled before the open. And the MNQ, we're just waiting. But we do see this 925 move most mornings.
Order filled.
So the YM, it got our first target. You could move your stop to safety if you want, or at least shrink your stop, right? It made the first target. It was only a few ticks. It was only a few ticks. You could put your stop under all the structure, maybe under the PP makes sense. A little bit under the PP until the open. The open, if it decides to go through the high, it'll hit our second target. That's our second target. I'd like to get my stop to safety if I can. We still have a few minutes. So I told you all that I made the big mistake of trying to get a quote for a extended car warranty online, and I know better. I knew I shouldn't have done it. And now, unbelievable amount of idiotic spam calls. They don't stop. I've had to block like 100 numbers. It's so annoying. I can't believe I was so stupid. So stupid. Not overjoyed at the way that the YM moved after, I was thinking of taking that profit because it is possible it's going to reverse at the high. It's just how things go.
1 minute ago, now to be the marker and open imbalance data.
I mean, we don't know it's going to go back up and retest the high now. It may just fill the gap. If it fills the gap, we're going to get stopped. Now, I don't want to get stopped before the open. Our stop was 50. Our stop was 50. The NQ is pushing up. I think it's possible it's going to go
Grants
up
Foreign Minister Newis's Wyckoff exchange
on
messages
the
according
open
to
because it
ISNA,
was
Order
bullish.
submitted.
and
It was
Iran
hanging
US
Order
around at the
submitted.
highs.
various
See,
issues.
we kept our stop out of the way.
Please keep an
We
eye on
got our
various issues that
YM
move towards the
trade.
downside here.
Now the
Now we can see the
NQ,
market on open imbalance,
MNQ,
S&P 500 buy
it
side
did not
100,
hit the first target
69.3
yet.
million.
It's pretty
Nasdaq
bullish.
100 sell side 32
I
million.
think
Dow
it
30
should
sell
hit
side
that
9.1
first
million.
target, but
Mag
it's
7
not a
sell side 12
guarantee.
spot 1 million.
Nope.
Order filled.
So MNQ did not work. YM worked. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So MNQ breakout. That's the first time In quite a few days, we didn't have a winner on the MNQ Open. I think part of the problem is it was making new highs right before the Open. And I think 100, even though we have 125 stop, the stop on the Open, it could be as big as 250 if you want to take that kind of risk. My account, unfortunately, is struggling, so I don't want to take that much risk right now. Now it's already done the highs, so I'm probably not going to take a second trade. The YM magnet is over. Okay, the YM did its magnet. And now you could just put
S&P
it
500
on
opens 0.1%
signals.
higher. Nasdaq 100 down 0.1%.
Put it on signals. And then it's frustrating on the MNQ because it just tagged the stop. I was thinking of expanding the stop a little bit. Maybe we'll go to like 175 on the stop. But that's the first time in quite a while that it stopped us out. And the YM really was bullish, and so was the MNQ. The MNQ was bullish. If you look at the charts, really, where should the stop have been? I think possibly below the PP.
Just keep an eye on CoreWeave shares up
I
about
think that our
12%.
stop was just not a good stop. I
According
really
to
think
UK,
that
according to
hurt the
UK
trade
CTU
this
Gov
morning.
poll, UK short-term inflation expectations
Sometimes you
rise to
just got to
3.8% in January,
take the risk
and
because it makes
UK long-run inflation
the higher
expectations
stop
possible
actually
in January
reduces
versus
risk.
street spot
It
in
actually
December,
reduces risk.
according to CTU Gov poll.
Even though you think it's increasing it because it's more ticks, it has a better possibility of not being stopped. So that makes it better. You follow? You follow? All right, so just watching. I think I'm done trading this morning. The MNQ, it's bullish, but I don't like going long at the high. You could wait, could put a magnet on and take some signals. What'll happen here is the squeeze will change momentum like the YM. But now the YM, it invalidated that short. Green candle, green momentum bar. The NQ just pulled back a little too much this morning. Sometimes you have to have very big stops on the open. It's the only way you can survive sometimes. MNQ's pushing, just pushing up, pushing up. It's really, if you go long here, you're just chasing. Where do you Where does it stop? You know what I mean? It's made one, two, it's made about 7 new highs. It's not a high probability long. It's not my favorite trade to jump in after like 6 or 7 new highs, not to go hot long. Now, there's no signal to go short yet. Still pushing, still pushing. Obviously, sometimes when you chase, you get rewarded. I mean, it doesn't mean chasing is a good policy, right? Hey everyone, so I want to close our YouTube stream. Thank you all for watching on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll be streaming again tomorrow. So hit the notification bell
Canada
and the
Volumes
like
Icon.
button.